charity reference in the title.
Hello everyone, you're listening to the award-winning To Hull and Back podcast, proudly sponsored by Old Zoological Bar in Hull. I'm your host tonight, Nathaniel, and tonight I'm joined by Joe, Will and Christian to discuss Christian, what word did you say? Was it flabbergasted? A flabbergasting result?
Yeah,
away at Southampton. And also the title...
To win.
Well, yes, I did. I mean, let's just launch straight into it. Yes, I predicted us to win. I didn't get the exact scoreline right, but that means I'm not going to be at the bottom of the prediction table for another week. So that is very good.
Blowing it early there. People.
I wanted to leave it. I didn't bring that up. Don't blame me. You can also partially blame me for the reason why this episode is slightly late by... Was it 5 minutes? I mean, maybe. Christian, you were talking, but then I interrupted you once you'd already finished your long anecdote, and I did my own anecdote. So sorry if you've been waiting around. I know my parents downstairs are getting a little antsy, so I thought we better get going. And also, Will, you had to explain the title of tonight's episode to me, didn't you?
Yeah, I forgot you were only 4 years old.
And stupid, yeah. I have a history degree, so I should have got it. But do you want to explain it for the lovely listeners at home?
What, explain martyrdom? Yeah, I really want to get very political and religious on this site.
Well, it's every site.
It essentially means the killing of someone who becomes a saint.
Yeah. See, I was thinking it's not just saints, though, is it? Other people can be martyrs, but I suppose that's where the etymology starts from. I'm
really going to start with this and not the fact that we won.
Let's go players. But I don't have anything to be negative about on tonight's podcast, so
I'm sure you'll find some Nathaniel.
Death is negative enough, so I'm just going to focus in on that, and martyrdom.
Before Nathaniel gets down that rabbit hole, let's rescue where this is going to go, and just say, what a great Saturday that was!
Beautiful. I thought we'd kind of blown it against Stoke, and I was looking at this game in Preston away and all the injuries, all the many thousands upon thousands of injuries, and Southampton on the ball. And I know that they've been in poor form, but I thought, are they going to pick us apart with Azaz and Fellows and Armstrong and these quality players up front? But even when they scored 75 minutes in, the crowd didn't really get going. They were booing pretty much the whole game, and we took full advantage, didn't we?
Yeah, it seems like a very toxic place to be, Southampton. Like when they went 1-0 down, it's one goal after however many minutes it was, and they were, the crowd were on their back straight away. And as soon as we got the second one, I thought, right, we've won this game, because the whole atmosphere of that stadium, the sense you got of it. Even sat at home was just like they want to be anywhere but St Mary's right now. You're not fit to wear the shirt. Some not very nice things about the ownership. Yeah. If any team that gets the first goal at Southampton has a very, very good chance of going on to win the game. Because of that, because there is so much animosity towards the way that the football club is run from the ownership. And we played our game plan perfectly, I think. We defended really well when we had to. We knew that Southampton were going to keep the ball and have the ball for long periods, because that's what they do. Like they're so far clear in terms of average possession per game and total possession and stuff like that. All those possession stats, Southampton are top, and then there's like no one else. So we knew that we would have long periods without the ball, and we just had to defend whenever they inevitably created chances. And they, to be fair to them, I think they did create them, but they weren't great, clear-cut chances a lot of the time. Had a couple that that were hairy moments, especially in the first half when Panda flapped at a few, and then there was a big goal mouth scramble, and it somehow didn't go in, and my heart was in my mouth. And
but that always happens, doesn't it? Even back in Volta time, we start games poorly. Like at Millwall, we conceded lots of chances early on there, and then we were 2-0 up. It was pretty much like that. We just didn't get the third because they didn't go down to 10 men. But after a very poor start to the season away from home, since October 18th, I think, are we the best away team in the league?
That was Birmingham away, wasn't it? Birmingham on October 18th. I think, yeah.
Yeah, Bristol comes to mind, but actually that away form, because the home form has been really good this year, but that away form that we had last year, I mean, in the last calendar year, we've won twice at Millwall, Sunderland, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Stoke were like third at the time, and then Southampton, some of the away wins, and of course Birmingham, the only home game they've lost under their manager at the moment is against us. So away from home, we've really improved, and we'll get onto it in a moment, but we're going to have 4 league games at home in a row because of Watford being moved and Ipswich being postponed for the FA Cup. So things are definitely looking up. And for the first time in a little while, it's going to be a positive episode from me because I can't think of too many negatives, really.
Before we will talk about the FA Cup draw, of course we will. But if you add that into there, that's 5 home games in a row. So
5 home games in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be plus 2 Hull FC games and the Hull KR Brisbane game. That's 8 games on that pitch in the month of February. It is going to be battered by the end of it.
Yeah. Long ball is just going to have to be hoof it up the pitch. Can't play on the ground anymore, which would suit us.
Just use it to our advantage for once. Be nice.
Well, exactly. That some of the teams that come and play nice football are not going to be able to do it. We're just going to lump it to McBurney and profit, and that's going to work very nicely.
We should do a Macclesfield and get a plastic pitch. And then we'll be able to beat Chelsea easy.
True. We're going to beat them easily anyway. We're just so good. Well, Christian, what was your experience of that? Because you said you were flabbergasted. So when we got to 2-0, what did you think?
Well, when I got to 2-0, I was absolutely buzzing, obviously, wasn't I? But I mean, no. I think
is fucking shit.
Stupid question.
Yeah. But no, obviously. But one of the things that I was kind of really happy about, and I guess shocked at the same time, was seeing Crooks start. Because that was something I wasn't expecting. I know it was said previously in the interview that Sega had a chat with him and that he's good to go. It's only a bit of a tear, but he can play through it.
A bit of a tear is still a tear, right? And
bit of a tear is still a tear. Yeah.
Like I was at the press conference on Thursday that you're talking about, Chris. I turned up and it was like being at Bishop Burton. Every single member of academy staff was there. All of the 21s players. I thought, have I driven to the wrong place? And Sergei comes in. The first thing he says in the interview is, "This week's been a disaster." Immediately, you're fearing for the worst, and you're thinking it's going to be Akintola, Phillips, Endala, and then everyone else is going to be under 21s on the bench. But it wasn't. When I saw that Crooks and Lundstrom had travelled, I thought, all right, they're just going to populate the bench. But and
that was it. That was the thing, wasn't it, Joe? That it was good to see Lundstrom come on.
Great.
Again,
in fact, we needed someone back in some form.
Yeah, exactly. And that was one of the really big highlight positives seeing about. Now, obviously, he hasn't played for a while. Bit rusty on the pitch, positional wise. I could see things like McBurney going, "Come on, do me a favour. You need to cut in here now. This is how it's been working, throughout the game." Stuff like that, which is to be expected, but you can still undeniable the quality that he kind of brings and the energy he brought with it as well. So you definitely can't take that away from him. Coyle just got on with it. I thought he did quite a good few crunching. I say crunching tackles. got involved. Let's put it that way. And I do think Southampton did kind of make a bit of a meal of it, which was kind of, I guess, a bit of a shock. When things aren't going your way, I guess, from Southampton players, you're going to try and find anything you can get just to turn you around a bit, I guess. But it was a bit too much, and it kind of just looked pretty poor and pathetic, really, especially to their own fans by the end of it, because you heard the boos and you heard all the comments and what was being sang throughout. It just looked like, oh, let me fall over, try and win a foul, and let's see if we can get it that way. There was no actual effort fight from them in the end. Yes, all right, you had the ball possession, but what did you actually do with that? I didn't.
It was very similar to the Borough game, I thought, in a lot of ways.
I was going to highlight that. Yeah, well, you see, yeah, all right, we defended like we did against Borough, because of how much possession they had. But I felt so much more in control defensively.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we definitely lost more solid than we were against Borough.
Yeah, I didn't fear a goal going in.
But it's been like that, I think, a lot with City in the past. We've played games where we've not really dominated the ball, but our opponents haven't really. The reason that a lot of the times this season, a lot of the reasons the opponents have scored is because we are the ones who fucked up and given them a golden opportunity. We've not often allowed teams to create loads of chances against us. It's usually come from an error that we've done. I think there's only been a handful of times that you could count where a team's like actually created multiple good chances against us and should have put away them.
I mean, that's sort of been every game, hasn't it? If you look at the XG, but the XG is, of course, nonsense. That was our first comment tonight.
That bullshit.
We're second bottom and we're actually fifth.
You know, Man City only had an XG of about 2 in that game where they won 10-1.
True.
That just proves how bullshit XG is.
Yeah,
quite right.
That's an interesting one that Harry's put in the chat here about does it what we've paid for Joseph start looking like a piece of good business, especially with this season now? What is he, 2 goals behind McBurney?
That's concerning, isn't it? You'd be concerned at the start of the season if you heard that, if McBurney's not getting the goals, but they're both doing really well, so it's really good. Yeah,
and that's one thing I will say that pays dividends towards Joseph as well, because we've all said it. There's never been anything that we've not liked about the guy, like his mentality, his effort, his work rate. None of us have ever criticised that. Just generally, sometimes his skill and actual finishing ability, because he never finished. But this season, he's kind of starting to get into the right positions. He's taking the opportunities a bit more cleanly as well. It could be obviously because of the company that he's got around him. There
was the interview at some point in the season, I think, where he said he'd been injured for a lot of that.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he had an ankle thing.
Which obviously, when you look at the way they play, it must have affected him in some way compared to because he's a different player.
Yeah, completely different player.
He was talking to me about it in Turkey over the summer, and he had floating bones in his ankle when he signed for us. He knew it, and they flagged it up on the medical, but we needed someone to come in and try and score some goals for us and keep us in the division. And although they knew about the injury, Kyle Joseph said, I want to come here and you've paid £2.5 million for me. I'm not going down for surgery when we're in a relegation fight. So he had the surgery. What day was Portsmouth? Portsmouth was the Saturday, wasn't it? He went in for surgery. He went in for surgery on the Monday. So that's how immediate it was. And then he's had a full pre-season, and he's a completely different player. Yeah,
and he looks it. He does look it. He looks a completely different way. And I've got more confidence when he's on the pitch now. I do. Because we are so light, obviously due to the injuries. It's one of those kind of bit of relief when you see him either on the left side of the wing running up or covering up. It's a bit extra relief knowing you've got someone with legs that will do that running in hard work for you.
I find his relationship with McBurney really, really good, because I just like the way that they will essentially win the ball for each other. They will create space for each other almost constantly throughout the game. So the ball's going towards one of them, the other one will make the space for the other. And it has worked so effectively so far this season, whenever they have been on the pitch together. I'm surprised it's still kind of working in a way, because you'd think it'd be something that could be rectified. But obviously, the ability of the two players, showing that maybe he's a lot better than we've initially judged him to be.
You can't judge him on last season, as you say, when he's not fit. But now, I mean, because he was always getting into the positions, and I think the goals at Millwall in particular were good for the movement, but the one against Southampton was a proper good finish. So he's added that to his game, and given the form of Miller, I don't really blame him. He's come back from ACL. We wouldn't expect him to be flying. When Gallagher is back in the next week or so, I'd be tempted to have Gallagher on the right and Joseph, being a right footer, on the left, and actually drop Miller potentially. If Joseph's scoring goals, you carry that on. And I'm really glad for him.
Is Joseph going to be fit?
Well, true.
He got another kick. He always seems to get kicks and be okay. So hopefully lightning strikes again. But we lost Carl Joseph, Akinfamu and Louis Coyle to little minor injuries. But McBurney's was a little minor injury at Birmingham, and he was out for 6-7 games.
So I think Miller was better on against Southampton than he had been against Blackburn, which was good to see. Because against Blackburn,
he was a threat, wasn't he? He brought the ball up a lot. He took it literally from our half.
He could have easily scored that header. To be fair, it was a good save early on himself. But so if Joseph isn't fit, it would be a shame that he's not playing. But at least our other winger, at least in his most recent performance, gave something decent.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think with respect to what Coxie just said, by the way, we're gonna get on to talking about the potential inbounds later on, especially a bit more in depth regarding you.
Me?
No, not you, Joe. As in,
right? We're gonna have to lay right now. You're calling him Hirakawa. Can't Joe.
Good show. Yeah, Hirakawa. Okay, Hirakawa. So Hirakawa.
Had to get that in early. Had to get that.
Do you know what? I was expecting like a dude sweet situation, or the you of Austin Powers situation coming out there. So no, we'll speak about them down the line, but big fan of that signing coming up. I felt McBurney as well. Great game. But legs started to go about 60th minute, slowed down a lot, walking pace. He started using a lot more of his mouth and a lot more wind-up merchant in about the 60th minute, which is definitely
game management. It's called, I think, nowadays.
Game management. Thank you, Will. That's the word.
I'd call it being shit, but whatever.
Yeah. I guess I'll do.
McBurney, though, I think he was right in trying to get whoever it was who went over the top of him sent off, because I think. Well, let's talk about two potential incidents, because for me, the penalty on Liam Miller was
a penalty.
So I
think it's a penalty.
I think it's soft. Some refs give it, some refs don't.
It's a penalty. Stonewall penalty.
I don't think Stonewall, because I couldn't see what the contact was after a few replays.
Then Charlie Hughes, it's just a strong tackle. He gets the ball, but it's just because it's such a strong tackle, and referees these days always take a little bit of caution when they see things like that. There's nothing wrong with that challenge at all from Hughes, and any suggestion that it should have been a red card, nonsense. And then, McBurney kind of got stood on. So I think that could have been a red on another day.
Yeah.
You're probably right on another
We
day.
won, didn't we? So we don't want to complain about us too much. But
the referee,
play,
every time he referees any game in the EFL, every single fan walks away from it going, well, even if we won or lost, that referee would have been shit regardless.
I mean, at this point, I think it's said almost like every single game. I think just the general standard of EFL refereeing is pretty poor.
Yeah. And was it Sega in his interview, post-match interview, saying like how like the VAR, and in some respects, I guess I get it. I do get it, but then the big like controversy with the VAR is when VAR are wrong.
Yeah,
So I was going to say, I won't want to give any of the EFL official VAR because they're the ones who have to use it, and they can't do the job without it at all. I don't trust them to get the correct decisions on it themselves.
I say that every time this debate comes up. The problem with VAR for me is not the technology. The technology
it's the people using it.
It's the people using it. And if Premier League referees are supposedly better than Championship referees, but they're still shit at using VAR, then
I mean,
what would that make Gavin Ward at using VAR? What would that make Ruben Ricardo at using VAR?
Be awful.
And VAR is just the worst thing when it comes to it while you're in the stadium. Like you can't celebrate any goal whatsoever because you just have to wait.
Hey, you get a double celebration.
It just kills the atmospheres. It just kills games.
You get a double celebration, Will. It goes in, you get The ref will stop it for a bit, and then he turns around and goes, actually, it was a goal, and then you celebrate again. Of course you do.
And then what happens is it's the 95th minute, you've scored a last-minute winner against, like, top of the table. Oh, no, his toenail was about 2 nanometers offside, so we're going to have to disallow that one.
He hasn't had a shave this morning, and that's why he's offside.
He had that little
he hasn't had a toenail clipping this morning. Yeah. Saying that we have 2 celebrations, that's like trying to console a kid who's been told his parents are getting divorced to have 2 Christmases.
Hey, don't go down the negative route. I was trying to keep it positive.
Oh, yes. Louise asks about the red card for the assistant. That's an odd one because he got a straight red, didn't he?
Well, no, but he got a yellow first.
He got a yellow earlier on.
Instead of just booking him again and getting 2 cards out, the ref just thought, bollocks to it, let's get 1 straight out. I'll put it down as 2 yellows. So, yeah, we'll have to. I'm sure we'll find out tomorrow when Dean Holden's asked about it in the presser.
Yeah.
Does that mean Marko Salatovic has a touchline ban? Because giving a touchline ban to an assistant manager feels incredibly petty.
But that is the rule, so yes.
Yeah, I mean, because I think it would make more sense and maybe stop them doing it if it was always, because it normally is always the manager. The manager should get a touchline ban.
Well, usually what it is the manager will get the booking put on them if they can't identify exactly who in the coaching staff was.
But yeah, I don't really feel like the set piece coach, for example, if you ban them, they'd probably be happier sitting up in the stand because they can see everything better. So it doesn't really make any difference. And exactly, they all have headsets, and some managers do it on purpose. I feel like. I think Sam Allardyce used to, did he, at Bolton? I feel like I know that. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sure I read somewhere that I'm not comparing the 2 managers. I'm sure I read somewhere that Luis Enrique at PSG sits in the stands for the first half of his games and then goes and manages on the touchline in the second half for some reason. I'm assuming it's to get a better idea of how the game looks.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't all do it.
Berg used to do it.
Makes sense.
Berg used to do it. He used to sit higher up.
A lot.
Yeah, he used to sit in the stands a lot and with his chewing gum.
A lot of managers, to be fair, it was a lot more common in the past, to be fair. It doesn't as much, but it used to be a lot more common.
Yeah. No, it was one of those. So, but hey, like I say, we keep going the way we're going, guys, and we do get into this, cheeky playoff or auto spot. That is definitely going to become a reality for all of us. So,
well, yeah, if we end up in the Premier League, we can't escape it, can we?
We can't escape it. So, yeah. But I don't want to bring one negative. I want to bring him.
Great comment there. Give him Christian's headset.
Yeah. My game one. One negative I want to bring in. Pando's kicking.
Oh,
yeah, after Dylan Phillips in the cup game, it's like night and day, isn't it?
It is night and day. It is night and day.
That after Wrexham, Jesus.
I know. It is. He needs to just look. He can save a ball. We know he can save. Brilliant. I think every game beforehand, he just needs to train distribution. That is it. Nothing else. Distribution. He's good on. Forget about box work and whatever. Pull him to a side and just kick a ball to a certain area, to a certain target, non-stop. That's what he has to do because he's breaking down play too much now. It's actually stopping us from progressing even more and keeping the momentum that we had. So he does really need to work on that. And that's one of the things, like we're saying, after obviously the little cup situation.
I was just going to say, Liam Rossini feels vindicated listening to you now, Chris.
I can't believe he's already been mentioned. Thought we're saving him.
Yeah, we're saving him for a bit in a bit, but
yes.
We're gonna say
we're teasing him, aren't we?
We're teasing away. But everybody else that came on, you know, subs changes, you know.
Cahill, again,
top player.
Finding his feet more and more every single week. Good on the lad. Good on the lad. And James DeBayo on the bench for the first time as well. I think it was always a long shot that he'd get on, but that's nice to see that he's in the fold, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Well, he has to be, because who else? There isn't anyone. I mean, even Ajayi coming back, he might be injured in the third place game.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Ajayi getting injured in the 90th minute of a third place playoff.
Typical City.
It is. It's so typical City.
I am so fucking angry.
Because Bessie got suspended, didn't he? So he had to play.
Right, I didn't know that, but no, it's one of those.
He didn't have to play. It's a third place fucking playoff.
It's playoff game. No one has to play it.
They won, didn't they? They won at least.
I thought you were all joking when you posted it in the chat.
No.
By the way, I genuinely thought. Wait a minute, wasn't it over? I thought he wasn't playing. I thought he wasn't going to do this game. What did he do? Go and watch him and trip over the curb and get an ACL injury or something? That I genuinely thought, what the hell? So
do we know what muscle it was? Because
I heard hamstring, but the commentators have been wrong before. In AFCON, when I've been watching, they thought that someone should have got.
We
sent
don't know
off
until he's back with the squad. Really, let's be honest.
Well, he wasn't writhing around on the floor. He walked off. So it was fine.
I mean, Mo Balumi walked off on Boxing Day and he's out for a while.
Well, he rather than walking over with one of the medical staff, he was stood there for 2 or 3 minutes whilst the ref was doing something else, just by the sideline, waiting to step off the pitch and let the sub on. And he didn't look distraught or anything. So hopefully he won't, that'll be fine. But yeah, pretty typical that he goes through the whole tournament, but maybe playing 120 minutes and then 93 days after, having already done that in the previous round, was too much for a player that shouldn't be playing 2, 3, 90 minutes in a week, in that intensity. So, of course, typical what's happened in the game. It doesn't matter. Nice little story about Sergei mentioning that whoever would score from the corner, he'd give him a bonus. And I think McBurney was doing this sort of sign, the money sign at Ikievich on the sideline. And of course, we actually scored from the corner. Good delivery from Amir Hughes, first goal of the season. We haven't scored, or we've scored one goal from a corner in the last few months. So.
Can I just say on that, good corner by Amir for a change.
Yes, I know I give Amir a bit of a hard time. He was good yesterday. I think it benefits him when the game is a bit slower and stuff like that. And he obviously got the assist. But oh my God, his corners. Like, I can't remember a single one before the one that hit Charlie Hughes' head yesterday that has ended up getting anywhere past the first. Well, it went far post. I'm sure he was aiming for near post, but it went in, so it's fine. I'll let him off.
His range how much is actually all right. It's just Ajayi's injury history is all hamstrings as well.
Yeah, cheese strings. That's what they are.
So it doesn't say what his injury was earlier this season, but I'm fairly sure it was hamstring. But he had.
Yeah, I could have lived with his injury a bit more if it had been tonight. And not last night.
Yeah, definitely.
In the final, yeah, quite right. Well, we have been talking about it already, so I suppose we may as well get on with it. Anything else about Southampton? I don't think so. We talked about the 2 goals, which is rare. We never really talk about that. So,
what about
the
the goal we
Titanic left
conceded?
there. And not just general facts about Southampton. Well, Christian, what did you say?
What about the goal we conceded? I mean, it seemed to just
Lucky
one of those
fluke.
typical. Well, no, it felt like another typical City kind of. Oh, why didn't you pick up? Is it because the legs were getting tight situation? Look, it's going to happen with how we are at the moment with our depth. Kind of getting tired legs and the constant games. It's been non-stop, and kind of. I don't want to say we switched off because I don't believe we switched off. I just felt kind of exhaustion took over, if you get me. So I think that's one of the things that we need to kind of, if we do start conceding those type of goals later on, kind of be more understanding at the moment because of how, well, we haven't got the depth, we haven't got the recovery with regarding that. So any goals that we are conceding, yeah, we don't want it, but we're still getting the win out of it. So it's happy days. But I think that's some of that we're just going to have to get used to for the next couple of games moving forward, if I'm being honest. I do expect more goals to be conceded. But then again, who cares if we're scoring more?
That's what we do, isn't it? Just trying to outscore the opposition. Yeah.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
Yes, we were joking about it before last week. We were into the
I think every single Hull City fan joked about it in some way, shape or form, let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, so not
we
Doncaster.
Did it on record, so we can claim it.
Yes. Obviously, because Ajahn was saying that he would like Chelsea in the final. We're not going to have Chelsea in the final, but we do have Chelsea at home in the 4th round. Just, the football gods have given us some proper narrative there. We are going to be the centre of attention on that weekend.
That is the draw of the round, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
We are not going to be centre of attention.
Other than Macclesfield
is going to be centre of attention because I can guarantee you both, because it's on both TNT and BBC, all of the build-up will be, let's interview Liam Rosenior because Hull City sacked him. And now he's at Chelsea.
Liam's not done enough interviews recently, has he?
Let's interview him about that. And then let's provide some balance. Let's look at Hull City. They were runners-up in 2014. Guess who started the final? Let's interview Liam Rosenior about that as well. Not a single. TNT will not send.
Sure, bother. You're not going to be at the ground. You're not going to see any of this coverage.
No, true, but TNT will not send Steve McManaman down to do a feature with Sergei in training. BBC will not send Micah Richards or Alan Shearer to do a piece.
What if Manish and Clem were still on the TV?
True.
But the coverage is just going to be wall to wall Liam Rosenior.
If he's still in a job by that point, because we must say that it's Chelsea, and it's this season in particular. These, like it's
he might have become Palace manager by that point.
He could have become Man United manager. The way they're going, I mean.
Now Michael Carrick's got a play-in.
Yeah, but they could lose next week. It's just how it goes. What kind of reception will Liam get? I think it'll be overwhelmingly positive.
It shouldn't be negative. If anyone's being negative about it, they're just being silly. Quite frankly,
I think.
The same as Greaves, isn't it? Like Greaves and Philogene got booed. Sean McLaughlin had a few in the FA Cup game. Alfie Jones had a few with Middlesbrough. I don't get it. Why they've all been fantastic servants for the club. So, and like Liam, although we sacked him, and you could argue we should have done better with the team he had, and that is an argument that's made. He loves the football club. He's got such a strong connection to the area outside of football, and then add the football on top of that as well. He deserves a nice applause and stuff like that. But get behind the boys, for God's sake. Don't be chanting his nanas from Hull every 10 minutes and stuff like that.
No, just chant them when we're 4-0 up.
Just have it's all right to give him a bit of an applause and sing it once and stuff like that to make him know that he's still liked here. But then, leave it until afterwards.
Does Sergei still have his own chant? Because even this season we were chanting Ruben Sayers' name in the Sheffield United game, even though he wasn't even there. So we definitely will be chanting for Rosinia more. I bet people will be. I do suspect
because he's the current manager.
Absolutely, and I think we probably will get absolutely slaughtered. But for the first 10-15 minutes when it's 0-0, we'll enjoy that.
What happened to no negativity?
Well, I'm livid that we won the cup game because we have all these injuries and we need a rest. No, I mean it is a great time
for Chelsea, right? Liam Rosinia will obviously want to win the game because it's a game of football and he's managing in it. But I think for me, it's bigger than just that for him, and not in the sense that I want to get one over on Adjan. I think it's he knows that the FA Cup is likely his only chance left to win anything this year for Chelsea.
They lost the League Cup
semi-final. Not necessarily. They're still in the League Cup semi-finals.
I don't see them getting past Arsenal though. I don't see them turning that around, especially not at the Emirates. So the FA Cup could be his only opportunity to get his hands on some silverware. So it's not going to be a case of let's just play the kids and let it go. He will go strong, I think. And
depends what other games they have.
Even Chelsea is strong, isn't it? Let's be honest. The money they've spent.
Yeah. It will be a tough game, and of course we'll see what sort of situation the squad is in, and given I know it'd be good to get a result against them if we can do that, and get to penalties maybe. But if we're still in the playoff race at that point, which we probably will be, we might have to play.
What we need is. We need because Leeds are playing them 3 days before. We need Leeds to
beat them.
Just cause some minor injuries to players like Cole Palmer. Just do it for a game.
I thought you were going to say tire them out a little bit, but then
Well, we're not playing a game 3 days beforehand, are we? But they are.
We might be. I don't know when our games are. Well, we're playing Watford on the 3rd, and then this will be is it the 13th?
So we've got Watford on the 3rd, Bristol City on the 7th, and then nothing in that midweek until Chelsea on the 13th.
Oh, okay. So it is a Friday night game, right?
Yes. We will be very nicely rested going into that. Also, we've talked a lot about Liam Rosinia coming back. Word for Liam Delap. I saw some
guaranteed to score.
I saw some revisionism on Twitter today that Liam Delap actually wasn't very good for us. But
I'm sick of this. Oh no, they were never any good. Bullshit that always appears.
But this, I believe this also comes from someone who makes the argument that Rosinia should have got us promoted with that super team. So you can't say Delap was rubbish for us and then also say that he was part of the super team that didn't. Yeah, it doesn't add up for me.
Yeah.
That. But anyway, word on Liam Delap as well. And of course, who could possibly forget former under-21s assistant manager Billy Clark is now a scout at Chelsea.
Okay.
Well, that's the big one.
Billy Clark.
That's the big one.
Not wasn't that what they said about Billy Sharp?
That
Billy
was
Clark
in the Q&A, in one of Adjan's Q&As. Yes.
Good times. Well, Carl Joves is probably going to outscore Liam Delap from that season. Delap got 8 and Carl Joves is on 7, so maybe he wasn't very good. If even Carl Joseph can outscore him. Well, speaking of the Liam Rosinia super team, we're currently 7 points ahead of where they were after 25 games, and I've done some numbers, and I have an entire Excel spreadsheet here. I might post it online, but I'm not going to go through every single number because that would take many hours. But I'm just gonna give one key thing. So there were 20 games left Over the last 15 years, we need 74 points to get top 6, and we're on 44. So we need 30 points from 20 games. Now, there is some crossover here because, of course, he wasn't here for too long. But Ruben Sayers, in his first and last 20 games, of course, there is some crossover there, got 26 points from 20. So essentially, all we need to do is to ever so slightly outperform what Ruben Sayers did from this point on in the season. We'll finish in the playoffs. So that's pretty achievable.
Yeah, actually, that record under Ruben across the whole season would have had us mid-table.
13th, I think. I think he was 13th in the league, and we were 13th in XG over the course of the whole season. So roughly there. If we can get slightly, just one more win more than Ruben Sayers' form, then we're going to be there. And I think at the very least,
I get the feeling this season it might be 74 might not be enough for the playoffs.
It seems a bit high, but what tends to happen is the teams at the bottom of the league go on these incredible winning runs to try and stay up, and the teams at the top get nervy and fall off a bit. Happens all the time.
I am looking forward to the Wednesday somehow getting back out there.
No.
Well, my worry is that injuries derail this season.
They have already, haven't they? And
they already have, and look at what's happened.
Yeah, we've been
improved.
We've managed it well so far, but if you look at the injury list now, we've got Giles and Gelhardt coming back shortly. Within the next.
Sonny's just come back.
Within the next week, 10 days. Brandon Williams is back in training.
Oh, who cares?
I don't think that one matters. You can carry on.
I don't think that matters. But
respectfully, who cares about Brandon?
We've got Matt Jacob back. We don't need Brandon Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Matty Jacob, by the way, he came on
run.
Good cameo against Southampton. Came on, did very, very well, I thought. Shemi Ajayi, Elio Matazo, Mo Balumi, Cody Drama, Darko JB, Ennis Destan, and we're still waiting on the prognosis of Coyle, Famuo, and Joseph. All three.
Destan's back. Ajayi could be.
Coyle will play with 2 broken legs. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, he will. He will.
Some would say that we wouldn't see a downtick in performance if he did.
The only one I'm concerned about is Famuo out of those 3. Because he, like Shemi Ajayi, has a pretty terrible injury record.
Yeah, it's just the market we were shopping in, isn't it? It sort of happens, but we do need him because he can play two positions.
Like I said earlier in the episode, though, to play devil's advocate to that, it looked bleak when I left the training ground on Thursday, and look what we've gone and done this weekend. So
yeah, it's positive as hell, that.
And we didn't expect it, but Matt Crooks played the full game, and John Lundstrom got some minutes towards the end off the bench. So that's enormous. Where it could be an issue in terms of depth, let's say, is we cannot sign players unless players leave. And we can't really afford to let players go if we've got no one to replace them because they're all injured. And that's block for our transfer window. For example, Seny Dieng. That's on the back burner now because we'd rather use the space we can create outfield than a third goalkeeper.
Yeah, I don't really feel like we need another goalkeeper considering that we're 5th. Because if Panda was so terrible, we wouldn't be 5th, would we? We would have conceded 600 goals. And, I feel like that's the last of our worries because we have all these other injuries.
As well, Phillips gave a good count of himself in the cup game as well.
Yeah, he did. Kept a clean sheet. Yeah. Well, shall we talk about the transfers then? Because we're 45 minutes in and it's the 18th of January. It's peak transfer time and we haven't mentioned them yet. So Toby Collier, we have already discussed a little bit, but that's pretty much done. He's likely to sign without having to sell anyone. So he ought to be in the squad for Preston.
One of the 2 fills a vacant wage spot that we've created or been given or found from somewhere.
Yeah. What do we think about him? because he's been at West Brom, been okay, had fitness issues. He's fit enough now, but given the injuries, we just need a body in, and you can do a lot worse than someone who's played in the Championship this season already and played for Manchester United.
He's a great prospect. He's highly rated at Man United. Yeah,
that's it.
That's yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know enough about the man.
He can play deeper or as in the sort of Regan Slater role.
He's kind of a defensive midfielder. He's kind of his main slash holding midfielder. Is kind of his main thing. He can fill in as a centre back if we ever get stuck there for injuries and things like that. But he can cover that.
Just to say what's coming through in chat, can we deregister players that will be out for the rest of the season? Maybe unregister Darko to free up a spot. That's not the issue. It's not registration spots that are the issue. It's the whole thing was we have an overall squad salary cap. And additionally, even if that was the case, Darko JB is registered as an under-21 player.
So he's essentially not registered. He's registered for free, isn't he?
So he doesn't count into that. And Toby Collier couldn't come in as an under-21 because loan player, and you can't register a loan player in that under-21 slot. They have to be contracted to you. The only quirk with that was Oscar Zambrano was registered as an under-21 our player.
You will do anything to mention Zambrano in a podcast.
Well, the Zambrano correspondent. He's got
in the second half of last season. Don't know why. The presumption I made was that was in case the ban got overturned and then we could then register him normally. But it didn't, so it's irrelevant. But that's the only time a loan player has been registered as that, and he couldn't play anyway. So Toby Collier will have to be registered in the listed 25, as will Yu Hirakawa.
So equally, I think that takes us to 6 loans with Gelhardt back, Gelhardt, Akintola, Miller, and Hirakawa. Does it maybe mean, because it's not been mentioned who will be going to free up Hirakawa's spot? I think you look at not Drame because he's injured, could be Williams, but maybe Ndala's going back, possibly. If we're bringing in a winger, what do you think about that? Could it be Palmer, maybe?
Or are they just going to predict that? Or are they preparing for Lundstrom to get injured again and just going to keep them around?
Yeah, or that at least one of the 6 loan players will be injured at one point, so it doesn't matter because you can have all the 5 fit ones and they'll just swap around every week when they come back in which they could well do, to be fair. Yeah. So the Hirakawa one came out of nowhere. It went straight from I didn't know this guy existed to he will be signing in the next few days, definitely 100%. So there was no rumor or build up. It was just bang. Look at this guy.
Today.
Yeah, so that is happening, isn't it? Again, is he better than Akintola and Ndala? He scored 2 goals this season for a Championship team. Bristol, I'm not too upset that he's going, the fans, to a supposed rival. So he can't be that amazing, but is he an improvement on them? Surely he's got to be, because I've not been too impressed by them. I think we could do a lot worse. Equally, we could do a lot better, but it's under the circumstances. I'm happy enough with this, and it is nice to have an Asian player because we very rarely get those.
Never had a Japanese player.
Yeah. Is the one thing that you will, I guess, from the Bristol point of view, and generally kind of what you would have expected from a player coming from the J League, especially, is very skillful, very fast. Uses both feet.
Great work rate.
Extremely well. Great work rate. Yep. He closes down. He's a very high. He likes the high pressure. He's that type of player. The only downfall you could really put against him is his actual kind of physical strength. He does get bossed off the ball quite easily, which is obviously all the English leagues. You've got to kind of understand it's more of a brutal, top-heavy kind of strength, kind of hanging on to the ball type of game. And that's one of the reasons why we're one of the best, because it is a very hard, brutal version of the game. But if you want a player to, kind of be a bit electric, I guess I'm expecting quite a bit from this guy. Given the space, he will hug the touchline. He likes hugging the touchline and cutting in, especially on the left. He does that quite a lot. On the right, he likes kind of pulling back into the middle as well, to be honest. He's one of those type of players. He's one to actually kind of keep an eye on for ourselves, and especially now we're very, very light in the wing department. I see this kind of signing being, needed more than any of the others at the moment. I appreciate Gelhardt's coming back, but Gelhardt really needs that number 10 spot to give Crooksy some relief, especially with that mini tear that he's got. Lundstrom's only coming back. You don't want to aggravate that. The middle's obviously a worry.
His existing shoulder injury.
Exactly. So with Gelhardt coming back, I don't want to turn around and say, yeah, all right, Gelhardt can do the, wing's going to be fine when Gelhardt gets back, because it's not, because the middle is still extremely, it's like eggshells. They've got a crack in it, but one more and it's all over the place. And we just can't afford that right now. So to have someone coming in that can actually play on either wing as well, left or right, like I say, he's very, very, very good with both feet. And close quarter work with the ball at his feet as well. This is someone that I'm excited for Hull to get. It is nice to have, I guess, how you put it, an Asian player in the club, someone from Japan. It's something that we've been needing for a while as well, I think. I always think of Pachi's son. I always love that guy at my
Only thing I've got to add is there's been gossip on Twitter from the Bristol City side that it's a free. Baz and Mike have categorically shut that down. It is a loan, straight loan, nothing more than that.
Yeah,
it's definite loan.
I'm happy enough with that. I think Bristol, they play 3-4-3, don't they? So he's played as a wing back or as a sort of number 10, maybe not an out-and-out winger. So
yeah, he doesn't suit Bristol's formation. Yeah,
he
just doesn't suit Bristol's formations that well. Because we play with like a three up top kind of wide wingers, it'll suit the guy down to a ground. And I think we'll get a lot more out of him than Bristol do. Well, will and do. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. Fingers crossed, exactly, Nathaniel. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think those will be two good signings, good caliber, but not to upset the what we've got with the squad, because we did too much with Zaroury and Giles and Carvalho and all these people coming in. I think it was a bit too much, and we obviously can't do that this year. Those are better players, Collier and Hirakawa, than not having anyone, or playing JB who's injured, or Akintola Mandala. So I'm very happy with that. I think maybe we still need another fullback who can play either side, perhaps, because we are light there. Because at the moment, if we got Coyle injured, then we have no fullbacks, and we're putting Slater there, maybe. So yeah, we really struggle without that, but that would be a decent enough January.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't think a fullback is on the radar, to be honest. I think Rio, Yu Hirakawa, Toby Collier, and then possibly Kenny Dieng and Kieran Dowell. I'm not sure where all this leaves Kieran Dowell, because
it's gone a bit cold, isn't it?
That one was supposed to be a loan as well.
I'd rather just keep Palmer. If we're not selling Palmer, I'd rather have him than Dowell. I think he can do as well as he can, can't he? So
yeah, and then Hirakawa would, of course, he'd be just the second Asian player to play for Hull City after Alayar Sayadmanesh.
Yes, I'd forgotten who.
Unless Abdush, Cynic.
No, they play in the Euros, don't they? They play in the Euros and the Europa League.
On the side of the Bosphorus, which I don't know if they were or not, but Turkey are a European UEFA nation anyway. So,
Not to get political.
What about the Aussies?
In football terms, they're European enough, aren't they? So, yeah. Shall we get on to the predictions, Will?
Should we just talk a little bit?
Joe wants to avoid the predictions. I wonder why that could possibly
I wanted to say one thing about outgoings quickly. It's a quote Sergei always uses, and I think it's brilliant.
Oh, yes.
He said the other day, no one wants to leave Hull City, or something like, which is testament to just how good an atmosphere he's created and that is around the club at the minute. Predictions time.
Yeah. Go on, Will.
Yes. Well, it was mostly unsuccessful for most of us because most of us predicted a draw, except Nathaniel predicted us to win 5-2, and as a result, because of his absolute insanity, gained a point. And Anthony, who has decided to not grace with his presence, actually predicted it bang on.
That is very impressive. It's been a while since we've had one of those, I think. So good on him.
And what that does to the table is that Nathaniel has now opened up a gap of 2 points in the relegation battle.
Joint fourth. Wow, with the 1-1 bot, with the clanker.
Well, Ant has put himself almost in like no man's land. He's 3 points behind the title challenge and 3 points ahead of the relegation fight.
He's Sunderland from last year, who were just fourth forever.
Except he's third.
Well, yes, but it's like the same but different. So
okay,
yeah.
Well,
Joe, how does it feel to be
this week?
You're rooted to the bottom, Joe. But
I am.
How does it feel? How does it feel?
To be brutally honest, it makes absolutely no difference to my life whatsoever. But
it's hurting. It's hurting.
But I am competitive, and I want to win. So
I should just start predicting the same as you do until Will says I can't do it anymore.
That would be quite a good strategy, to be fair.
For the last 4 games or something, I will. But until then, I'll carry on.
This isn't doing you any. But your absolute madcap, ridiculous challenge of this is working. Technically,
I mean, sort of. Yeah, sort of.
I mean, you predicted in the last 2 games a 6-6 draw and a 5-2 win, and got points from both.
Okay, so yes, Preston away. That'll be a very tough game. They're 1 point below us, so I'd take a draw there definitely to keep us in the playoffs and keep us above them.
Oh yeah.
They just lost to Derby. I think there's a potential for us to go there and play awfully, sit in 1-0 win, because that's what we're doing now. So, definite chance to win that. I mean, Swansea at home, got to be trying to get 3 points there. They're not great. They're lower down in the table. It starts a kind of a good run, I think, not to get too carried away, but we will be top 2 by the time we're playing Portsmouth in 8 games' time, maybe even first. So, not to get carried away. Let's do our predictions for Preston North End. And again, we predict the lineup, but it's just pretty much the 11 fit players we have, so no point.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same starting 11, isn't it, almost?
Well, if Coyle, Fanwo and Joseph can't play, you replace them with Palmer, maybe a new signing, and maybe Akintola. Who else is there? So
Palmer, Fairlong. Yeah, it's Jacob. There ain't many to choose from, is there?
No. All right, yeah. Christian, you want to go first with Preston?
Yeah, go on then. I'll go first with Preston. I'm 2-2.
Desmond.
Oh, you bastard.
Sorry,
what we're going to do?
Well, I could do in the fan predicting the same as Christian to stay above him.
Let's all just predict 1-1 for the rest of the season.
Yeah, just to keep it where it is. Yeah. Well, Louise is going 1-1. I guess everyone's in the same boat. Preston are a threat, aren't they? So it's not one of those. They're a solid team at home. I think
we've not won there since August 21, by the way.
Yeah, well, there you go. And I would also state, with respect to the loss that they had at weekend, was probably down to because they, similar to how we lost Crooksy the other day, was they had an injury. Was it Bath who got injured or something like that in the warm-up before the game? So tactically, whatever they had set up kind of was just all over, and it was only 1-0.
What, and they didn't try and freeze the pitch up to get it postponed?
I know, exactly.
Rookie error.
Rookie error.
What are these guys thinking?
Sorry, what's that over there? Oh, Watford lost again. Oh, what a shame.
It's one of those type of teams, aren't they, where that at home they are pretty okay. It was a close game in the end, was the Derby one by looking at all the stats. You know, possession was almost 50-50. Shots wise, obviously Derby had a few more, but it wasn't astronomical. I mean, all you can say is Derby were peppering the goal at every angle to try and get some corners, but I don't see anything that's going to say, oh yeah, well Derby fully turned them over, so we can. So yeah, 2-2.
Derby.
We are better than Derby. I do agree, but then at the same time, I've just got that feeling, 2-2.
Okay, Will.
Well, I was actually going to go for the Desmond as well, but I was going to predict because it was 2-2 at the MKM. Just thought I'll just guess, but I'm going to be incredibly boring again and predict a 0-0 draw. I predict that this game is absolutely shit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Joe,
Bessie.
I'm matching the 1-1 bot and going 1-1.
I'm going to go.
We're all waiting.
Well, I think we're going to win. I'm just trying to think of,
4-3. Come on.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, sure, 4-3, which means 1-0, but 4-3. Look, when we're 4-0 up,
you predicted us to score 15 goals in the past 3 games.
When we're 4-3 up, or when we're 4-0 up, and then we get 2 or 3 players sent off, I'm going to be looking at you like, told you.
But with no injury hit, we can't afford suspension.
Yeah, I was going to say, please no suspension.
Yeah.
No more.
1-0 and a clean sheet. Yes, translate 4-3 to that. So 4-3 City. Put me down for that. And then, Swansea. I don't really feel like there's much to say about them other than that. That's one we should really try and win because they suck and we're great.
Which means we'll probably lose.
Yeah. Let's rattle through these, Christian.
Yeah, if we beat Preston, be concerned we're going to drop points against Swansea. That's normally how it works.
Do you know what? Will has a point there. If we do want to do that one. No, you're right with Swansea. Though, we should be getting a result against Swansea. Definitely should. I still believe though Swansea can score goals, and I'm feeling because we're at home. I'm going to go with 2-1 at the moment for Swansea. 2-1.
Oh, Chris, you.
Well, you put me first. What else am I going to do? Yeah, 2-1.
Well, Joe, you go.
I heard that right. That was 2-1 to Swansea, wasn't it?
No, 2-1 to Hull.
Just making sure.
Yeah,
to Hull.
2-1 us. 2-1 us for me.
Solid and boring.
Yeah, solid and boring.
Will?
It is boring, isn't it? I agree, Nathaniel. They're not predicting anything that's enjoyable, are they?
No. Oh God! What are you going to say?
So anyway,
I'll go for another 0-0.
Oh, crying out!
I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I'm going to go for 2-0 rather than 2-1.
To win for City.
Oh, yes, of course.
Good.
Matching the winners. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm confident. I'm riding high. I think we'll beat Preston. I feel like we'll beat Swansea.
7-1 Swansea.
No. So let's just say something. You know what? Two results. I can't predict something stupid for both. So I'll only go 100-0 City against Swansea.
I'm not even putting that in the spreadsheet. Give us an
put
actual
10-0.
more score. Give us a slightly more logical score. Just slightly.
What's the cutoff? 10-0 isn't, but 9 might be.
I mean, Hull have never scored 10 goals, so I'm going to consider that the cutoff.
Okay, 6-3.
That's better. I don't think we have. I'm saying that. I'm sure our biggest ever wins a 9-1 win over Wolverhampton, but I might be wrong there.
You could be right there, yeah.
Let's have a look.
I don't see what the difference between me saying 1-0 and being wrong and 100-0 and being wrong is, other than maybe respect.
1 versus Carlisle United.
Oh, fucking hell.
In 1939.
Oh, I mixed up our worst defeat and our worst victory there. That's quite City.
Wow. Yeah. Biggest win was 11-1 against Carlisle, but that was a very, 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 very long time ago. Yeah.
It's a good point, actually. It depends who the referee is as well, because if it's like someone like Ruben Ricardo, all bets are off.
Shall I have a look? Confirmed yet?
Mind you, don't we have a 100% win record under him? So I would like it to be him. It's actually
I would
quite a
rather
good
not
luck
have him
charm for us.
officiating our games, though, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but if it works, it works, you know?
Yeah. I don't think they'll have confirmed the referees yet, but it's worth a look once the EFL website wants to load.
Yeah, maybe not for Swansea, maybe just for Preston.
I just realised, and it was 1-1 for Swansea against Birmingham as well. So
yeah, Swansea are fine. They're average. They've improved under Matos, is it? But we should be trying to get 4 points from the next 2 games, I'd say. Just depends who it comes against.
Yeah, 4 points from the next 2 games when you're in a playoff race is what you want to be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
You draw the away game, win the home game.
They've confirmed the official for Preston, but not Swansea. It's
Who is it?
It's Stephen Martin.
Okay.
Steve Martin, the architect.
Stephen Martin is, just for clarity, an awful referee.
Oh, well, you didn't really need to clarify.
What a conflict. Yeah.
Just to clear up any doubt that anyone had.
The
Have
two
you seen
options
who the
are poor and
fourth
bad.
official is? Fourth official?
No.
John Candy?
No. Go on, Joe.
It's David Webb.
David Webb, indeed.
That's Jason Bourne's real name. I'm sure I mentioned that on this podcast before.
I think you may have said that when
it is.
He's been brought up before, yeah.
Yeah. It is, isn't it? So, I mean, say real name.
Yeah.
He doesn't exist, or does he? And on that bombshell, we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, Christian, Will, exceptional work from all of you 3 tonight. It's been a top podcast.
200.
Huh? Oh yes, 200 episodes. Is this one? Oh yeah, 199. Oh, I didn't realize the number was in the top left as we're recording it. That's clever. Do we need to do something special for the 200th?
10
Sure,
up.
Celebrate a win.
I could prepare, as Chris says here, a Jason Bourne quiz if anyone's interested for no reason. No, fine.
No.
I'll try and if anyone can get their hands on those like tiger mittens that they were giving out at the Blackburn game, I would love some of those. I'd happily pay at least £15 for those. So if you have them and need a £15,
£15.
Fucking Mr. Moneybags over here with his £15.
I was going to say.
£15 each.
15 pence.
It's affecting you, can't we?
Yeah, 15 each. One would do for 15. So because I do like doing the mole thing, I'm doing that quite a lot. It's almost become a bit of a tick. that I need to stop. So, if I can get my hands on those, my paws on them.
Saying any special guests? You know what? What was it? On that video that Sky did before, bloody Miller loves a good little podcast or something, doesn't he?
Yeah. Come on, Liam. Come on down, Liam.
Yeah, go on, Liam.
Yeah. I'll have to think of some sort of special combined lineup, but the Chelsea combined lineup will be a fun one. When I do that one, don't worry.
Sure it will be.
I've already prepared it. Actually, I know exactly what it's going to be. At the very least, that's going to be awful.
Full prank calling him. Get him on.
That's what I mean. Shall we get him on?
Dave Fergus, yeah.
Mr. Hotline to the EFL himself.
Everyone who comments
to be fair,
this
is all assuming that we do have a 200th episode and we're not at war by that point. Obviously, you never know.
No, we're front line.
These two, Nathaniel and Joe, you're fucked. You're going to be sent straight to the front lines.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, well, we've all been negative at some point on this podcast. So, all right. Well, we'll look forward to World War III. You've only got a little bit of time left, so make sure you make the most of it and, get commenting as much and reposting.
Why would there be a war? One of the people involved won the FIFA Peace Prize.
And has actually been given not awarded, but physically given the actual Nobel Peace Prize
medal.
Did you know?
Which is basically the same thing.
Did you know that's happened once before in history? Would you like to know who it was that received it?
George Washington, wasn't it?
No.
Surely it's it. Oh, close enough. Close enough. All right. Up the Tigers, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.